So
And
before we
that's
go
it for the
in
podcast.
to
We'll see you
this,
next week.
that concludes our regularly scheduled program. Now on to stuff we're just going to make up along the way. My dog is very active right now, so
Okay.
I may or may not have to discipline her or clean up pee or
That's
there's a
fun.
See,
Clean
that's
up
what
pee
happens
during the
when you
podcast.
discipline a puppy. They get scared and they pee.
I mean that sometimes they are connected, or
It's a
it works
vicious
the other way
cycle.
around. They pee and then you discipline
Yeah,
them.
it works both ways.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Vicious
Right now
cycle.
she's
Stop
in a
that
fight.
now.
She's in a fight with her roadkill stuffed animal. That looks absolutely disgusting.
Who's
Okay.
winning?
I don't know, it's wrapped around her face, so it's a tie right now, I think.
She's got her on the ropes.
Yeah. She's chewing on the tail. But I don't know if she knows it's her tail or the gopher's tail or the roadkill
They
tail,
never
whatever
know
it
if
is.
it's their tail.
It's true.
Never.
She definitely got in a fight with her tail the other day.
You got a black eye.
It was adorable
You
for
should
two
have seen the
seconds.
other
Then it's
tail.
like, oh wow, you're stupid. All right. No, she's actually smarter than that. She didn't last that long with her tail.
Yeah, she only lasted one round with the tail.
Yeah, the
Down
tail
for the
one.
count.
Yep. All right. I should do an intro.
Yeah.
You should. That'd be great.
Me. Clear my throat there. Oh no, she just looked at me like, what was that
What's
noise?
going on?
That's a new one.
That's a new sound.
I love
Me.
Cisco. Whenever something grabs Cisco's attention, he immediately like.
Yeah, the ears pop up. And then you get the
You get the head tilt.
Yep.
exactly. All right, Patrick, you know your head is perfectly centered on the 2, so it's E3021.
Do you want me to do E?
E20. Brought to you by E2021. E2021. It's in the game.
Here, let me do this then.
There you go.
3, 2, 2, 1.
This is weird.
Yep. If you put your head over one more, it looks like 2001, and it's like it's stepped back into time.
You know, if I screen grab this, that could be the there we go, right here.
Your head is the 0.
Yep, there it is.
Perfect.
There it is.
Get it-
There's
you gonna use
the
that?
episode graphic.
There, perfect. I think that's the quickest we've ever gotten the episode graphic.
Yes.
Last week's didn't come until the last 20 minutes.
Yep.
When Marc said, "Hey, let me tell you a story." Wait, I don't know if I should tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell
I'm
you.
gonna tell you.
Yeah, you can't just leave it like that. Like, oh, we have to know.
Yeah,
That was me
like-
cautiously dipping my toe in the water and then falling in.
and then knowing Ronnie was gonna push you to say it, especially when you said, "I don't know if I should share it." Ronnie's like, "Improv.
Yeah, you're gonna share it.
You're gonna share the story." All right, I am ready
Good.
to intro. Good morning, my brothers and sisters. On this episode number 146 of the Good Morning Guys podcast, thank you so much for joining us on this fine morning, afternoon, evening, or night as we continue discussing the game of life amidst the other games we love to watch and to play. I am one of your 4 hosts, the Brazilian mountaineer, transition ninja, and puppy whisperer, Lucas Ham Swisher. Also with me, the judge, jury, and executioner of fake news and spoilers, Patrick Novosel.
Are you really the puppy whisperer?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
On his left and my right, and actually the only other host with me because we're down one man, the final member of the GMG Quadfecta, who's got music in his heart, Doctor Who and Apex Legends always on his brain, and La Coretta in his old stomago, Marc Boucher.
Here's the thing. So he may whisper to the puppy, but does the puppy whisper back? That's the key.
That would be weird.
At this point, the puppy, if I whisper to the puppy bites back because
Yeah.
my face is way too close to the puppy, and the puppy doesn't quite get what love looks like.
It kind
or
of sounds like a
is.
sequel to like a movie. The puppy bites back.
You know that commercial back in the day of the owl who said, "How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Lick 1, lick 2," and then he crunches 3. That's what my
Three.
dog usually does. She'll give me 2 licks on the face, and then she'll nip my cheek, and I'm like, "Nope, we're not doing that anymore. That does not feel nice." Puppy teeth are like razor blades.
Yeah, they are.
It is not
Gotta be
cool.
careful with that.
You do. You do.
Yeah,
You got to
for
be
sure.
very careful. And you'd say, people have that phrase, don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, I'm bringing a puppy with razor blade teeth to a gunfight. I win. I just toss that puppy
It's
at
like,
your face.
did you just bring a puppy to this fight?
Yeah. And then I just
I don't
toss the
want to
puppy.
fight anymore.
It's like,
I'm out. This guy's weird. I'm out of here.
he's bringing puppies to gunfights. It's inhumane.
It's totally unconventional.
Speaking of unconventional, let's get into our updates, shall we? What's been going on? Patrick, we missed you last week. I think
Yeah.
you should lead the way, as is tradition, when someone, ducks out and plays hooky on one of our podcasts. You always lead the way
Sure.
in the update. So do it. Go.
Yeah.
Do
right
it.
now.
So I wasn't here last week because Mel's family was in town from
Gosh,
Colorado.
Mel's family.
Yeah, I know. It
How
was
dare they?
Go back to
ridiculous.
Colorado.
Yeah, that's what I
Get
said.
out of here. That's what I said.
So that's why I wasn't here last week.
It's all good, man.
I
Family
haven't-
first.
I haven't seen you guys in like 2 weeks.
I know. We missed you.
I see what happened. 2 weeks ago, my wife and I had been together for 20 years. So we had our 20-year dating anniversary.
Congrats.
2 decades.
20 years. What is that? Paper mache or
It's nothing.
what's the? It's nothing.
Yeah, it's a dating anniversary. It's nothing.
What? It's everything.
Do you do dating anniversary?
do-
I mean,
do-
like
do-
you already have
do-
your
do-
what?
Do you do the do that you do?
Dude, I love the dating anniversary. I actually enjoy it more than the wedding anniversary.
Don't tell your wife that.
No, she feels the same way. We love our
Really?
our dating anniversary. Yeah, I mean, come on, what's better? The day you decided to go steady. I don't think the kids say that word anymore, but or the day where you just had a party together.
I don't
mean,
know. Like I went steady with several girls, so it's like to find the right one. I think the wedding was a little bit more special because I nailing that down and saying I do forever.
Yeah, that whole thing, before
that's a pretty
God
big
and
I
the
deal.
entire
guess.
family.
Yeah, you
and
convinced me.
family
That's a
and
pretty
friends.
big deal. we like them both, so
Yeah.
we treat them.
They're so close together that we celebrate
Wow, that
our
was
anniversary.
fast. Would you elope? You're just like, hey, you want to go out? A week later, you want to go to Vegas?
I was like,
I think this is a good
I
thing,
mean-
Let's,
I mean, the first night that we started talking to each other, she brought up the poop talk, and I was like, I'm not letting this one go. Like,
Never. Yeah.
You're speaking my language. So I was like,
The
let's go get married now.
The language of duty.
Doo-doo.
Of poo.
Um,
Wow, I did not see it going that direction. I hope, Mel, you're listening right now.
I did.
This is a special conversation right now.
no, she knows it. She knows it. She knows
Yeah.
that's what. No, she knew the key to
knows
my
that's
heart.
what-
She unlocked it.
Key to your heart is the poop emoji. It's like the shape. It's like, and then just,
That's right
Shove
there, right
that
in the
key
middle.
in.
Yep. It doesn't beat. It just.
yeah, it's like a wet fart.
So yeah, yesterday was Father's Day, and all I wanted to do was do nothing. That's exactly what I want to do. That's what I always want to do, is want to do nothing. And so Mel let me have a quiet day, and I played some games. I played some
Nice.
serious games yesterday. I got out MLB The Show again, and I
That old
finished up.
chestnut. How old are you now? Like 85 in that
So
game? Like
The year is 2094.
yes, it was. I'm
Blade
42.
Runner.
42.
You're 42 years old.
42 years old, and
But in,
I ended-
in baseball, what's the equivalent age? Like, like
39 is like
40. Yeah, 39. Okay. I
39
was
is
thinking of
pretty
like
much
40
the
in
oldest.
football. 40 in football, like when Brett Favre was still playing. I mean, he might as well have been
that's ridiculous. Yeah, in your
like
40s,
the Crypt
playing-
Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Tom Brady's even older, I think,
That's
than
crazy.
when Brett Favre was playing.
They don't look like they were the same age.
Money
No,
will
I
do
mean-
that to you.
Favre looked way older.
Favre aged. Yeah, he definitely aged.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a 42 years old, and then I ended my 15-year contract with the Yankees, and so
Yuck.
I'm 42, and I get to the end of the season, the off season. I'm getting offers from random teams who want to sign me to a AAA contract for like
Please.
$800,000, and I was like, do you know who I am?
Exactly. Show me the money.
So I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to retire. I'm just going to, not sign with anyone, go to the off season. And then the only option it gave me at the end of that was, hey, spring training is about to start. You haven't signed with the team. You have to try out for another team. I'm like, that's the only option you're going to give me. I was like, all right, well, I'll try out for the St. Louis Cardinals. And so that I tried out for in spring training, and then they offered me like an $8 million 1-year contract. And I was like, okay.
Somewhere Corey Fouch is singing.
I know, right? He's smiling and singing right now.
So I played through that season, ended up taking them to the World Series and won it. And then so off to the off season again, and they're offering me another AAA contract, and I'm like, no, let me just retire. So I didn't sign anything. Same option. They wanted me to try out for another team, so I tried out for the Kansas City Royals. Did that for Tim Pollen, and took them to the World Series and won it that year.
Dang.
And so then this most recent year, I get into the off season. I don't sign anybody with anyone, and they're offering me the contracts for like AA for like $400,000. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm 45 now, so I guess I got to regress at some point. But nope. My guy is still rated 93 overall. And he's doing really well. And so I tried out for the Pirates, and they offered me a 1-year deal for $10 million.
Yeah, baby. Three River Stadium.
So that $10 million contract put me over $500 million total earnings lifetime in the game. I know.
That's crazy.
So right now I'm with the Pirates. It's 2047 right now. And I'll see what I can do. I don't know when they're going to let me retire. Like, there's no options to retire. Like, I was in the menus. I'm like, where do I stop? Like, how do I just quit?
They're like, nope, so, you play till you're dead. That'd be so funny if you just died. Like, it was just like all of a sudden it's at your funeral.
They have you out in the outfield or something.
Yeah, this is a never ending. Like 90 years old out in the outfield.
Which stadium would you like to be buried under?
Oh, and so I still had my like dark beard, so I changed his beard to be gray. Nice. So now I have like a gray beard, and I look like I'm older. Accurate. It's funny. Yeah. So we'll see where that goes. I did get 3 platinums these past 2 weeks.
Let's hear about it.
First one was I don't know if I talked about it 2 weeks ago. Was No Man's Sky. I got in there, and
but you said you were doing it.
You finally did it.
I finished that up. I had
baby off.
Yeah, when I loaded it up and transferred the save from PS4 to PS5, I had like a ship, and this ship held like an ungodly amount of material that I had gotten from when I was playing 2 years ago, and it had all the stuff that I needed to get the platinum. I just needed because when I played it 2 years ago, I wasn't going for the platinum, so there was just some annoying little side quests I needed to do. So I finished that up, and I got the platinum, which was really, it's been hanging over my head for a while. So I finally finished that one. The other 2 platinums. So I needed to watch. I was like 4 episodes of wrestling behind, and I was like, you know what? I need to play something that's pretty easy, and might as well just get a platinum while I'm doing it, and while I'm watching the wrestling shows. And I got a 99-cent platinum called My Name is Mayo.
Oh my god.
My man.
Which
you ride the Mayo train.
So
this terrible.
I didn't know. I knew this game was just
awesome.
A click thing, and I didn't realize how ridiculously easy it was. All you need to do is dress up your mayonnaise jar with all these different outfits and just click it. Just click the mayo button or
click it.
The mayo, and then you get a trophy, and then you put on a new outfit, and then you click it some more, and then you get a trophy, and then put on another outfit, and you do that for like 10,000 clicks.
Yep.
And at one point, I'm hitting with my thumb, maybe like 3,000. I was like, man, this is ridiculous. So I get out my left thumb, and then I get out my index finger, and was like, this is ridiculous. Like I'm just mindlessly doing it. So then I realized, oh yeah, this is also on Vita. So I platinumed it on Vita as well.
Nice. Well done, my friend. Well done.
So
You've now crossed over into
I've been giving you
a
crap
new
about
realm.
My Name is Mayo for 2 years, and now I am with you. Got those platinums.
Yes.
Now,
Welcome.
I mean, the only way from here is to get the My Name is Mayo 2 platinum, right?
Of course, the
I mean,
sequel's even better.
if it's the same thing, and I get behind on my wrestling shows, My Name is Mayo 2 queued
Listen,
up.
I'm going to give you a spoiler just to let you know what you're getting into. At some point, you play Flappy Bird with Mayo Jar in My Name is Mayo 2.
All right,
It's
Because of course
amazing.
you do. That's a logical progression.
sure.
It is. They take it to a whole new level in the sequel. It's like, wow, mind blown,
Yeah.
Hellman style,
Oh, and also, biggest news over the past
and
2
more.
weeks.
Yeah.
So, GameStop was having this deal where you can just sell your Xbox One X for like $260, and then if you're a Power Up Pro member, you get an extra 10%. So so it was like ended up being like $290 or something like that.
How
I
much does
sold
it cost to get a
dude. So
Xbox One?
I went into the store, and as they were like, because when you return a system, they have to boot it up, they have to test everything, all the buttons, and make sure games are working and things like that. So while they were doing that, I was looking around, and they have like a glass case of all the systems that they sell, and there's an Xbox One X selling for $250. So I don't even know why. I mean, like,
We
I got
just paid
let's-
you
Let's
to
throw
sell
that into
like
perspective. The Xbox Series S is $299.
right, and I don't understand. But I got the email. They're like, "Hey, guess what? You can trade this in." I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I sold that, and then I was like, "Well, I got I need an Xbox for the living room." I was like, well, I might as well just go get an Xbox Series X. So I go to work the next morning, and I realize that GameStop is actually having they're selling Series X's at the retail for the first time since launch. So I got out of work early for lunch, went to GameStop, and picked up an Xbox Series X. That simple.
just like that.
Just like that. Like, I don't know. People are like, I can't find systems anywhere. And I'm just like,
I didn't
I just
think-
did it. I don't.
You are the exception to the rule, my friend.
You have
Like-
magic fingers.
Yeah. I do not understand you.
But has it been said that the Series X is hard to come by? I didn't realize
Both
it was
the Series X and the PS5 are hard to come by. The Series
All right.
S, not so much.
Yeah.
You can find that, pretty regularly.
Yeah.
And pretty
I
much
got one,
a lot of
so.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah. You use yours as a paperweight. No, I'm just kidding. You play
so
it sometimes.
So yeah, I mean, I got the X, and I fired it up. Fired up MLB The Show. Started playing that. Fired up Forza Horizon 4.
I'm like Horizon Zero Dawn
Yeah.
Series X. How does that work?
Surprise!
I
And
missed a lot on the E3.
It is wild, the difference between the Series S and the X as far as the frame rate. Graphics are fairly similar. I mean, that's pretty much very similar between PS4 and PS5 and the Xbox One and the Xbox Series S and X. They're very similar. But the biggest thing they tout is the frame rate. The frame rate for the Series S, well, you could definitely notice some frame rate drops. But the X was super clean. So so it's really nice. And I watched the E3 Xbox press conference,
Mhm.
and which made me want to get the X. So that's why I sold mine. I got a new one because with all the new games coming out for Xbox. So yeah.
Mhm.
So I am current gen full. I got the Series S, X, and PS5.
Full throttle.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, I think caught up for the past couple weeks.
Sweet.
Mark,
Hi.
what's up, buddy?
Hi.
How you doing?
How's
you
everybody
doing?
doing?
Fantastic.
Yeah, so first off, I just want to say big thanks to everybody on Twitter who has, or on Discord, or in our chats on WhatsApp, that they've reached out and said they're praying for me because of my health situation. Just unfortunately, I'm still dealing with some chest pain and things like that. And like I said, it's still not. It hasn't gotten to the point where I've had to like, okay, it's emergency room time or something like that. But it's still been very concerning. But I appreciate everybody's prayers and well wishes for it. I just want to figure out what's going on. But
Yeah.
I feel like the doctors kind of have a good idea. I didn't feel super confident about the results of today's, because I went to the doctor today, and they basically told me that I've got high blood pressure, which for anybody who's in the know, so like Isaac, and anybody who has a general knowledge of blood pressure, systolic and diastolic. I went into the doctor with a blood pressure rate of 148 over 103 today, which
Yep,
is
definitely
high. So
What's the normal blood pressure?
120 over 80.
Okay.
I've heard differences in what the normal is. Some a little higher than others, but as far as I know, 120 over 80 is the normal. So yeah, high. And so the doctor recommended some medication for that, and what I like to do, I come from a background with my family of trying things more natural first, because they do work, and plus like I totally get that, you know, God created medicine and medicine has its place and things like that. It's just not something to where like I want to have, you know, medicine in my body for a long period of time. I don't want to be on
man.
it for the rest of my life. So I want to try. There are natural ways of lowering blood pressure. So I'm gonna try that first, and if I don't see any results, then yeah, I'm gonna more than likely take the medicine. But there are some natural things first. But now I feel like I'm in, I guess, an actual direction. So hopefully I can get that under control and hopefully continue to lose weight as well. Because that's still a goal for me. I've just been afraid to exercise because I've been having chest pains. So, but I'm gonna start giving it a shot. But that's been a lot of my week, is just kind of dealing with that. Last week was good for, you know, some E3 stuff. I got to check out the E3 conferences, which obviously we'll talk more about. Tuesday I had the day off, and Xbox that day dropped a whole bunch of demos for people to try during E3. And one of them is a game that I've been looking forward to for a very long time.
Let me guess. Lawnmower Simulator.
Yeah, that's it. You got it.
Hey, I downloaded it.
Did you?
I'm ready. Actually, I talked to Eric Estep, Bengalman09 today, and he used to be a landscaper. And
magical.
He turned it on. He's like, "This is legit. This is this is very it's a calming kind of game."
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, he said it felt realistic. So check it out.
There you go.
For those lawn mowing aficionados out there.
If anybody's longing for the simulation of
the glory days.
mowing
I mean,
lawns.
I used to be
I used to be a landscaper.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be a landscaper myself, so I don't know. I might have to check this out.
You know what I want to do? I want a call center simulator. That's what I do for a living. So,
yeah,
you know what?
Listen to someone yell at you.
Yeah, it's like I don't want to do that unless it's like one of those VR job simulators where you're just throwing stuff around.
Worship leader simulator. I'd be down for that.
Yeah. Isn't that like Guitar Hero mixed with, I don't know, some kind of like you're on a church like worship stage instead of in a crazy concert hall or whatever?
I suppose. Yeah.
Be the similar thing.
Yeah.
That would be fun though. I kind of like that. Like if you But it's like it's not only playing the song, but you have to make sure the lyrics on the prompter or whatever match with what you're singing, and then you
Are
have to
these lyrics theologically and biblically correct?
yeah, or if you repeat a chorus too many times,
Yep.
like you lose the audience and lose spiritual points. But if you don't do it enough,
You
they
lose
have
spiritual points. Oh,
no spiritual
this is
depth.
cutthroat.
I think we should do this. We should. I think I like this worship hero.
I'm
That's
I'm
what
I'm
you call it.
I'm digging it. I'm digging the direction. I like it.
I totally missed that announcement at E3.
What for worship hero?
Been waiting
You
for it.
missed out, man.
Been waiting for it.
Dude, they
They didn't
need to make
announce it
that.
yet.
It was
That
in
was
the
sweet.
overnights. It was the after
I would
hours.
I would
E3.
platinum the bejangles out of that. Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Trophy.
what was the game that you were looking to play?
Doesn't even matter. Worship hero is all that matters right now.
Thanks, Lucas, for saying my update doesn't matter. Love you too.
Love you, Mark. Love you.
No, this is a game I've been looking forward to since 2017 when they announced it. Of course, the game is only being developed by one person, so that's why it's taken so long. It's a
That's all
game.
it takes.
Yep.
Hopefully, it's not Sean Murray.
No, it is not Sean Murray.
Ooh, low blow.
Ooh, I love that. I love No Man's Sky. Sorry.
But no, the game is called Tunic. It is very much it's like an isometric kind of sort of top-down action adventure type game.
He's
very much
complicating it. It's Link and Foxes.
yeah.
Wait,
That's
what?
all you gotta say. Link
Link
Legend
and
of Zelda.
Foxes?
Legend
I
of
was-
Zelda and Foxes. The
I
end.
was getting there.
Oh, sorry, did I get ahead?
Yeah, stop messing with his
you can
update.
edit that out.
He's trying to do his update. How dare you?
Says the guy who brings up Lawnmower Simulator.
Yeah. You started it, Patrick. You inspired me. All right, sorry, Mark. I'll be
No,
quiet now.
it's all good. No, yeah, yes, he is right in the fact that it's very heavily Zelda influenced, or at least like the old school Zelda, where it's like you have the overworld and you're fighting creatures in the overworld, and your character has this green tunic, and you find a sword eventually, except you are a fox, and instead of an actual human being. But you go to different areas of this. It's a real vertical slice. It's a demo, obviously, so it's not the whole game. But that gives you a good idea of how to play. And there's an overworld. There's enemies to fight. There's secrets to find. There's actually one dungeon that you can
Are there
go through.
secrets that are randomly in just bushes that you'll never know? Like
Sadly,
Cut the
no.
bushes.
And that I was bummed about. You cut down the bushes. There's nothing.
What?
They did that. They put that in Landscaper Simulator. That's where the secrets are.
Yep, that's
In the
that's what it
bushes.
is. That's what it is. But yeah, it's definitely fun to play. I like it. I'm curious because once you start, like a lot of the signs and like the notifications you get, like when you find a secret, they're like in this secret language that you can't read. And so I don't know if it's like something where you're going to be able to learn the language later, or it'll come to you throughout the game. I don't know, but yeah, everything's in like this random language that I don't understand.
Is it the Rosetta Stone simulator?
Apparently,
You have to-
apparently.
Mark,
Yep.
I can't remember. Did you play Final Fantasy X?
No, I did not actually play it. I've seen it.
I know Patrick didn't, so I don't have to
I
ask
don't
him
know, that's
that.
what.
Well, in that game, eventually at some point you run into people that speak a different language, and through the overworld, if you like find books and find different like secret things, books laying around, you pick them up, you eventually can decipher the language, but at the beginning you can't understand anything. And it'll like slowly replace words and
That's
letters.
when you
and
need Atreus.
maybe they'll do that. Yeah, that's true. Atreus is
Yep.
he's a very helpful kid
But
in
I
that
mean,
sense.
you just from context clues and you know the visuals, you get enough of what you need. You don't really need to read it, but it would just be nice. But this game, at least this version of it, is hard. Like trying to go through. I ended up like when it gets to a point where you have to just run through the dungeon and avoid enemies just to progress. That's when it's a little too hard. I think. But I think your character is just so underpowered at the beginning. Obviously, I think you'll progress and you'll get much more powerful, and it'll be like
Right.
nothing later on. But yeah, it was really rough. I died several times trying to play through the dungeon. Unfortunately, I have not finished the dungeon. I played for about an hour and streamed it just before the Nintendo E3 conference. But I mean, overall, I like the direction with it, and obviously, me being into Zelda games, that's my thing. So I'm interested to see what the finished product is, and hopefully, they took this time with the demo to listen to feedback, and make adjustments for sure. But overall, I enjoyed it. Another game that I started up and started streaming was Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart.
Nice. Yeah.
Started that last Tuesday.
Sweet.
But that game is fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
The visuals are incredible. Story is fun. The gameplay is a lot of fun. This is like the PS5 in action. Just how quickly, like, there's no loading times. You know, the interdimensional rift jumps that you make are just completely seamless. Like, it's nothing. Everything is just beautiful and fun to play. Unfortunately, I've only played it for one night. Because I haven't wanted. I wanted to play it off stream, but I've kind of held off playing it off stream.
Yeah, that's true. Makes sense.
But I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it at least this month on stream. So I think I will do some off-stream play. But I mean, yeah, the game's fantastic. Cannot recommend it enough.
Nice.
But and then I believe Friday night I actually played some Fortnite with several of the guys like Tim Pollen and Caleb from the Mountain Nerds podcast. And I believe we played with Caleb's friend LJ. And that was a lot of fun. Got a couple of wins there. I've actually put down Apex for that, basically.
What?
Yeah, I mean...
Does Apex know that you've done this?
Hey, I haven't been afraid to talk about it. Apex right now is kind of stale.
Ooh, you're on a break.
Yeah.
Better watch out.
They're in a dry season right now, and I'm not the only one that's thinking that.
Copy boy might swoop in.
Yep. But yeah, no, they need to get out with some stuff, which apparently at the end of this month they are. Apex is, but yeah, it's real dry right now. So I'm okay to take a little bit of a break from it. And play some other stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you played it for the last 2.5 years. I think you've earned it.
Yeah. I'd say that's fair.
Yeah.
And then this past weekend, obviously Father's Day, we had a couple of different Father's Day celebrations where we actually did one with my wife's immediate family. We went to Red Lobster, got them Cheddar Bay biscuits, which are fantastic.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Had a good time with that. And then actually on Father's Day, we met her extended family up at Olive Garden, which was a great time. Had me some chicken parmesan, which is always good. And got to spend a lot of time with her family, which was great. One game that has been in my history for a long time, but I've never known how to play it. I learned how to play Rummikub this past weekend.
Nice.
And
classic.
And that game's really fun. Like the funny thing is, like, when I was growing up, and I won't bore you too much with this, but basically when I was growing up, when I was little, my grandmother and my mom used to work at a Days Inn in town, and there were several people that, like, they lived in the hotel. It wasn't like they were staying for a day or a few days. Like, no, they lived in the hotel. Like, that was their home. And there was this older lady that I would always see because my mom would take me to work. And she had Rummikub. And she would always take it out and try to play it. I never understood the game. I just liked to play around with the little tiles and stuff. She tried to teach me, but I was like 5, so I didn't understand it. And my grandmother actually bought me a copy of Rummikub when I was little. Never touched it. It sat there in the box. But no, I finally learned it, and it's actually a lot of fun to play. I highly recommend it. It's really, really chill. And we had like 6 people playing, so we actually had
Nice.
we had to combine 2 copies of the game,
Yeah.
in order to play. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I still think I haven't played Exploding Kittens in quite a while, so I think we need to get back on that. And actually, they just came out with a new variation of Exploding Kittens.
Really?
Vomiting cats.
No.
Finally, the day has arrived.
Although you should write into them. That should be a thing. But no, Exploding Minions. They have a tie-in with the Minions franchise.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and they actually added, I think, a new card or 2 that kind of changes up the game a little bit. And I just bought it, so
there you go.
I'm gonna have to check that out and come back. But that is pretty much my week or 2.
Yep.
Lucas, how was your weekend, sir?
Yeah, so I'll just jump right into it. Have I told you about my puppy Rayla? Have I shared anything about that?
Just a bit, but
You have a
I
puppy?
think I mentioned being
I'll
a puppy
hear some
whisperer,
more if you will.
but there have definitely been times where seriously, I have whispered and the dog has been like, "Not today, young man, not today," and
Not
just done whatever
today.
she wanted. Today was one of those days. Woke up. Usually, we've in the past 2 weeks we've kind of built up a little bit of a ritual. We weren't able to find a good crate for her to sleep in. I mean, she's a puppy, so she's smaller. We could find a temporary solution, but it'd really be a waste of money because, like, within a couple months, she would be exploding out of the box, or it would be inhumane to put her in a crate of such a small stature. So, we've been trying and failing to find a crate that's fit for a German Shepherd of her size. Just to give you an idea of how big she's going to be. At her age right now, she's 2 months. She's supposed to be 17 pounds maximum. She is currently at 20.6 pounds.
And just blow through that.
So it's looking like she's going to be a pretty big girl.
So a horse.
Yeah, pretty much a horse. I mean, I can't wait because I'll just throw a saddle on that and just ride her around Brazil. Like, I could like fight crime. I could start a new
Ride her through
like
the
some
non-existent grass. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, so we've built up a little bit of a ritual because we don't have the crate yet. So she pretty much, like, within the first night or 2, she decided she likes to sleep on my side of the bed, not on my side of the bed, in the bed, on my side of the bed on the floor. So we put her little bed there, and she sleeps next to me down on the floor. And then, in the morning, it's varied, but usually between 5:30 and 6:30, she gets a little restless, and that usually wakes me up. And so just about the same time every day, she starts walking around, and before she can pee in our room, most of the time I've been able to get her and take her downstairs and get her outside, and she does her thing. But this time I took her down and set her out, and she did number 2, but not number 1. And I was like, wait a second. That's not how that works.
Nope.
That's not the correct order. You're doing it wrong. And she just looked at me like, no, I'm finished. I did
like,
number 2.
Am I?
Don't need to do anything else. And I'm like, that is not good. So I fed her, and while she was eating, I ran up to my room, and I found that she had peed pretty much in front of the door. And because we have tile, there was so much pee that it grabbed the grout trail, and it went from our room down probably, I would say, about 15 feet to our entertainment unit and went behind it.
Oh, what?
I was
Goodness.
ticked. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And so I spent the next 15 or so minutes just wiping the grout and then getting disinfectant and wiping the grout cracks clear of dog pee. It was awful.
Wow.
Well, that was just the beginning, because today she decided, you know what? This potty training thing, No, not a fan. I'm going to pee wherever and whenever I want. Up until this point, she's usually ranged between one or two maximum accidents in the house. She's been really good. Most of the time, she'll like whine. She'll go to the door, sit there. She started doing this thing where she would sit at the door, and it was like she was training us to just let her out so she could goof off. We were like, come on now, it's not a good time to do this. Well, then today she was like, well, I'm not even going to tell you. And then she would just squat and pee in our kitchen or in our dining room. And that was not fun. Lots of cleaning, lots of, you're not supposed to do that, taking her outside, reminding her that's what the grass is for. I mean, we got grass. We gotta make use of it. So it's been something. It's been like an infant, toddler, preteen, and teenager all wrapped into one furry creature. And she's got an attitude. Typical day is pretty much just like, getting up with her. She pretty much has taken up my morning game time for the past 2 weeks. And I've
are
not been
you
a fan of that.
kind of making like a signal for her to when it's time to go out? Like so when we trained our dog to go
Hmm.
outside, we hung like three like jingle bells from our door handle.
Oh, okay.
And every time we went out, we put her nose up against the bells and rung the bells, and then we went outside. And we did that for
Hmm.
about 2 weeks. And then she realized, then she kind of connected every time I needed to go outside, I need to ring the bell. So then she would, whenever she needed to
Interesting.
go to the bathroom, that she would ring the bell. That's when you knew exactly, hey, she needs to go outside and go to the
Yeah, that's
bathroom.
some Pavlovian type stuff.
That
Goodness.
is. That's
Yeah.
some smart stuff.
Yeah. So and she's now 13 years old, and she still does it every like we know that she needs to go out because she rings the bell that's on hanging on the door handle.
Now, did she take advantage of that and like just go outside and do nothing and just sniff around and eat rocks and dig dirt
Yeah.
and
There's I
all
mean
that?
there's some times where she just wants to go outside,
Because I'm not
but
a
for
fan. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm the guy that goes to the grocery store. I get what's on the list and then I go home. Like
Mm.
she's like,
You know what?
you know what? I
So
want to eat some rocks.
with our dog's not, our dog's 13 and she weighs less than Rayla does now.
Right.
So
Right.
um it's a little easier. So we have like a dog line that is like connected to our porch. So we wrapped it around there. So all we do when we're inside, hook it up to her collar, and then let her go outside on her own.
I gotcha.
So then when it's time to come in, she comes
Yeah.
in, we unhook her, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I
So we
mean,
don't go out with her.
yeah. So she's walled in, and like we're walled in. We have a wall around our wall or fence, whatever combination of all those things. So
Yeah,
she really should be okay. But just because she's an 8 week old puppy and she's not completely vaccinated, we're kind of like guarded of what she does
sure.
outside.
Yeah.
Like if she's eating all the plants and like ingesting, like today there were some leaves that had fallen from our papaya tree, and she started grabbing them and started chewing on them, and I got closer and they had like I don't know, mold or penicillin where they had gotten wet and just were kind of like rotting. And then I was like, that can't be good for her to eat. So
Yeah.
it made me more cautious of like what she's chewing on. But I mean, she's chewing rocks, she's chewing twigs, she's picking up whatever she can and trying to either ingest it or be like, what is this like?
It
And just chewing
sounds
on it.
to me, it sounds exactly like a baby. They
Exactly.
put
It is
everything
exactly
in their
like a
mouth.
baby. Yeah.
Everything.
So we've kind of had some struggles. We've kind of realized, you know what, we need to pick our battles. And if she wants to chew on some sticks or, rocks, well, that's her call. I mean,
That's how she sharpens those already
that's
razor sharp teeth.
exactly. And let me tell you, she has made both of my kids cry. She's made all of us bleed at some point. Like my father-in-law, me, my wife, my kids. I mean,
Hmm.
she is like, she's got them razor claws and she loves to play.
Yeah.
And she doesn't like it when you don't want her to play
Tell
sometimes.
me, do you
Yeah.
bleed?
She doesn't
You will.
realize how big she already is and
Oh
how
man,
strong she is.
yeah. And we've already had to institute, we have a spare bathroom that we call the box. And it's just like in hockey. she
The
breaks the
penalty
rules,
box.
she goes to the box.
Power
And so,
play.
yeah. And so pretty much like if she bites one of us in a like obviously when we're playing with her, we have to be understandable and be like, look, you're playing with the dog, or if she's in excited mood and like you're playing with the tug and then Tasha goes in and's like, oh, I want to pet you. No, Tasha, you don't get in her grill and pet her. She's going to bite your face. Like
Yeah.
she's playing. And so outside of those moments when like we're trying to be nice and calm and it's expected, don't bite, touch, be nice, etc. We're trying to use like the same few phrases to get her to understand. If she breaks that rule, I pick her up and immediately put her in the box. And then she goes in the
Do you have a
box.
whistle? 2 minutes
No.
fighting.
Yeah, 2 minutes in the box. No, but
Flag on the
but
play.
she
Play.
she really, we've tried a mix of things, and I've watched a lot of videos, kind of like our practice in the past, and Mindy's family was to just kind of give it a little tap on the nose, use a newspaper, use something to be like, hey, stop that. And she did not respond well to that when we first started doing that. I was like, you know what, we need to pick a different route, and actually separating her and putting her off into the box or even on the balcony where she can't go anywhere. She's by herself. It's worked. Like she gets it. Like
Yeah.
she's like, I want to be with you guys,
Yeah.
and so kind of using that to our advantage has helped.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully it
just
doesn't.
sometimes when it's just the kids and I'm not around to pick her up or Mindy's not around, the kids like they just don't know what to do sometimes. They're like, she's just biting me. Help. So it's
When
been
she's in the box, does she like scratch at the door or anything?
a little bit, but for the most part, she just waits. Like at the beginning, she scratched a lot, but eventually she's like, you know what? You guys are going to come back eventually. You can't leave me in here forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's done all right. And we've found ways to not only show her that there's a right way and a wrong way to act. We've also I've had to teach my kids. This has been very educational for my kids. You can't just sometimes tell an animal not to do something. You have to give them that old alternative. And I mean, this works for parenting in general. You tell your kids not to do stuff, well, you better offer something else or they're eventually just going to do it. And so the same thing's true with a puppy. Like you say, hey, don't bite me. Instead, you offer, a chew toy or a roadkill stuffed animal ferret that, we have that you just say, here, bite this. And a lot of times she'll choose that on her own when she's getting really feisty and just wants to bite something. And so, yeah, kind of redirecting that aggression and that just drive to just be a dog. It's really strong in her, a lot stronger than the last German Shepherd we had, and it's really strong her desire to guard. And I didn't know that this would be the case for an 8-week, 2-month-old puppy. There's already people who walk by our gate and Rayla will stop and like stiffen up and bark at him and just be like, hey, don't be coming on my property, punk. And she's like, I mean, she's not, she's big for her size, like big for her age, but she's still not very big. Like she's just 20 pounds.
Yeah.
We went to the vet the other day and they had 2 Rottweilers in the back that they used that guard the property of the vet. They were behind a cage, but Rayla saw him and she was going to charge him. And I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea, Rayla. And so I redirected her away from the Rottweilers. The Rottweilers kept their cool, but I think they would have scared the number 1 out of her, or maybe the number 2 if they would have gotten too close. Or yeah, both at the same time. So, but yeah, it's been a blast, but it's been really hard and really time consuming. Pretty much, I've only had time and the mental capacity to play my Apex Legends. That's right, Dead Cells. It's back.
Oh, he's back into it.
Hey.
And I'm playing it, and I tell you what, they did an update, and I have more blueprints to find, new weapons to try out.
Nice.
There was an update, I guess, a month or 2 ago called the Whack-A-Mole update, and so I'm getting those blueprints, trying out the new weapons. I'm building myself back up to 5 BC. I kind of just started from the beginning with I actually started with 1 BC because 0 BC is for babies. That beginning difficulty that some people can't beat, not naming any names or judging anyone, but I decided to start on 1 BC and did 1 BC, 2 BC. I'm like towards the end of 3 BC, but I'm getting back in that 5 BC conditioning, so that I can beat it legit, because I still haven't beat 5 BC legitimately. I actually have an old save that I've copied over and I'm saving because I've gotten like halfway legitimately, and I have like I have an astronomical amount of money that I can use to buy whatever weapons I want. And so that's going to be like key to helping me proceed legitimately to the end, is having all that. I got they have the Sorcerer's Stone, little reference to Harry Potter in the game, and it's worth like $1 billion. It's not actually $1 billion, but it's like you pretty much, if you get that, you're set. Like you can buy whatever you want in every level until you get to the end of the game. So I don't want to ruin that run, because that's not a common pickup to find.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's been fun, just to get back to. It's like riding a bike. But other than that, not much video game wise. I've tried here and there to play with Chris on Saturday mornings, and it's been abysmal. Like either the dog or the kids or life has just made it tough. So we haven't had any successful gaming time together. And then, besides that, I watched 30 minutes of the Summer Games Fest, and then I missed E3 entirely.
Oh no.
I missed it. Like I didn't even see anything. I didn't, I mean, I was just like, what is going on? What is happening? And so guys, I really need your help. You're my only hope.
Well, it's
Patrick,
a good thing.
Nobi1 and R2 Butcher.
You're trying too hard.
I got nothing.
R2 Butcher.
R2 Butcher too. Yeah, you guys are my only hope. So you gotta catch me up. So why not make that the topic of the show, shall we?
Well, let's catch you up.
Yeah, indeed.
Catch me up before you go. All right. So what I miss? What do we got? Who's going first?
Mark.
Oh, goodness.
Tunic?
Because I have.
It looks fun.
I have like 20 something games that they announced that I thought that I would enjoy, or Lucas, I have a few in here that I think you would enjoy.
Love it. Let's hear it.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of games. Well, fortunately for me, but unfortunately for you, Lucas, and all those PlayStation, Sony ponies out there that don't have an Xbox, a lot of games are coming out for Game Pass. Like
Yeah, they
day one. Like
all you dudes playing it for free, and we're like forking out the dough.
So yeah, so Xbox came out and they did. This was on Sunday. They announced like 30 games, and 27 of them were becoming day one on
That
Xbox
is
Game Pass.
crazy.
Yeah, they are
27.
coming out the gate swinging. Absolutely.
Yeah. So so it got me thinking, like, oh my gosh, Xbox is making it so much easier to play games, like new games. And there's that old saying, like the system seller. What is the system seller? Usually they're thinking about, people are talking about games. Like, what game will you buy a system for? And for Xbox, really, it's Game Pass. That is why you buy an Xbox now.
Yeah,
is Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of games that are on Xbox, that are coming to Xbox, that are not on PlayStation, but they're on Game Pass now. So if that is the system seller in my eyes, from now until whatever Xbox is doing or Microsoft is doing, is Game Pass. If you have an Xbox, you don't have Game Pass, it's weird to me, because that's the only way you're going to try out all the first party games, even third party games too, or second party games. There's two games that I initially thought of that's actually coming out tomorrow. The first one is Dungeons and Dragons. Like, I'm not a Dungeons and Dragons kind of guy. Like, I don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons, but this one, Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, is coming out for Game Pass on the 22nd, which is tomorrow, as of recording. And it's like a third person, like action adventure, a button mashing kind of game. It's not, it's I think it kind of looks like a Final Fantasy, Witcher kind of third person kind of view, but in like the Dungeons and Dragons world. And that's not on my radar, but it's on Game Pass, so might as well try it out.
Why not?
Yeah, I know, right? Oh yeah, go ahead, Mark. You say something?
Yeah, so obviously the first thing that kind of came out of the gate before E3 even hit was, obviously Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley's thing that he's doing. It was so weird. Like, E3 has felt so segmented this year, with the combination of, Jeff going off and doing his own thing, and plus everything's all digital because of COVID and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, like, this was a real, even though there are some great things coming down the pike, do not get me wrong.
Yeah.
This E3 felt very weak to me.
Yeah, and I think I feel you on that. Because a lot of from like the past year, especially the past 2 years, is these big three are doing their own thing,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
developers are doing their own thing, and publishers are doing their own thing, and they're announcing things throughout the year in their own events. So it's like we had a lot of announcements at E3.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, there's some announcements that didn't even happen at E3, what we were expecting, and that's because they're holding on to it so they can do it at their own event
Yeah.
or at another event. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
Um,
I have a hard time with that a little bit. One, because I am a Sony pony, and Sony, out of all of them, they have totally pulled out of E3.
Yep.
Like they're not even involved. And I was talking to, I want to say, I don't remember who actually I was talking to now that I think about it. I'm getting old, and all I can think about is puppies and stuff. But like I don't understand in this day and age, even though I know E3's like participation physically had been waning, and then of course with the pandemic, like it got canceled last year and all that jazz. But at the same time, there's still so many people that pay attention to E3. I don't understand why a company decides, you know what, we're just not going to be there at all, and
I'll
then
because
tell
we're
you
going to
why.
randomly show up later somewhere else.
I'll tell you why. It's
Tell
because
me.
E3 is so jam packed within a few days, and they're announcing a ton of different things, whether that's games, consoles, movies, whatever. And if you are taken out of E3 and you do your own thing, you will not be swallowed up by the amount of content
yeah,
that is being shown.
they control the media cycle at that point. It's all on
Yeah,
them at that
I
point.
Mm-hmm.
guess.
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, certainly they get their day in the sun at E3, but then it's on to the next thing. Whereas if they segment it for their own area, like this is our moment, this is our, next 36, 48, however many hours that everybody's talking about our stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, part of it is sad just because it's something that we've grown up with is just this whole week of, it's like gamers Christmas basically is E3.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, it's interesting to see what next year will look like now that restrictions are starting to lift in a lot of places. We'll see what next year brings. But yeah, going back to Summer Games Fest, definitely had a great showing there. But the one there were only like a couple of games that really kind of stuck out to me. The first thing off was and they showed it at Summer Games Fest, and then they later had an E3 presentation specifically from Gearbox, and that is the Borderlands spin-off that they are doing with one of the characters in the game called Tiny Tina. It is a Borderlands game that is fantasy themed, so think like Lord of the Rings ish type stuff
Yep.
with a Borderlands twist, and it's called Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I am all here for it. I'm so ready for another Borderlands game. I'm super big into the Borderlands series, and so I'm ready for some more for some more Borderlands type stuff. So I was excited for that.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that I actually saw while I was the 30 minutes I watched Summer Games Fest. I was like, huh, okay. Like when I played Borderlands 1 and 2, I'll be honest that Tiny Tina wasn't really my like favorite character to run into
Yeah.
or like be a part of everything that was going on. I know that she had a DLC that was really good,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe in Borderlands 3 she's also a presence. I don't really know. I haven't played it yet.
She is. Yeah.
But man, I'm all in. Like a Borderlands style game with fantasy, like a fantasy genre kind of twist to it. I think that's going to be really fun,
Yeah.
especially in a co-op sense. It'll be really cool. So
Mm-hmm.
The other one of the other big games that was announced at or not announced, but you saw more for it at Summer Games Fest was Elden Ring, which everybody's like super excited for that. I want to say that's the one that Guillermo del Toro was a part of. I want to say,
George R. Martin.
or was it George R. R. Martin? Yeah, you're right.
J.R.L. Tolkien.
It's one of those guys. Yeah, you're right. It's George R. R. Martin.
Oh, it is Railroad Martin. Yes, you're right. I was just saying names of fantasy writers.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, he's right. But yeah, I mean, not my cup of tea because that's very much like it's almost like a Dark Souls type game, and so not for me. But it's exciting for a lot of people. It looks beautiful, but it's not my cup of tea. I think those were really the only huge announcements. I know some people were excited for Jurassic Park Evolution 2.
There is someone who is very excited about Jurassic Park World Evolution 2. Our very own Micah Doherty at Dopalicious on Twitter, but he wrote us on Facebook this time around. He said, never knew I liked Park Sims till I played Jurassic Park Evolution 1, but my daughter loves it. Next first gen pre-order for me. And so he is totally pumped for that. And then on the side, he says, Hades on PSN because about time, looking forward to it. Not to transition to Hades, but he does bring that up. We'll probably talk about that later. But I'm also interested in Jurassic World Evolution. I haven't played the first one yet, but I plan on it.
It was a PS Plus game at one point. So yeah.
Wait, it was?
Right? Or
PS
no, or
Plus?
maybe it's on Game Pass.
Yeah, it's probably on Game Pass.
Everything's on Game Pass nowadays. I mean, let's be real here.
The Netflix of video games. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, why don't we talk about Hades right now?
All right, let's do it.
You can go right ahead because that's not my thing.
I'm pretty sure that's also coming on Game Pass.
It
I'm
is.
pretty sure
Yeah.
that's what I've heard also.
And it's also gonna be on PlayStation as well.
Yep. Yep.
I know nothing about this game other than people loved it who have ever played it before.
I know. That's
Lucas,
what I've heard too.
have you pre-ordered it?
Dude, I'm not much of a pre-order guy, but I plan on getting it day one.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go all in. I know that I was talking to Jared Orr the other day. He played it on Switch, but all he could think while he was playing it on Switch was, I wish this was on PlayStation. Not just for the trophies, because we love the trophies, but he said that on Switch there were still some limitations, there was some slowdown, there were some things that it's like the Switch is still not able to keep up with some of these games that have a lot of things going on. And so it's going to be so awesome to play it on PlayStation 4 and or PlayStation 5, whatever you got. Yeah, I'm all in. Corey Fouch said on Discord, if you haven't played Hades yet, it's a blast. And I think I've watched some gameplay of it, but not too much because I don't want to be spoiled because it is like a rogue light, I believe.
Yes, it
and
is.
That's like,
I think it's roguelike. I don't
is
think
it
it's
roguelike or
I think
light?
it's roguelike.
I always forget which is which, but
I don't
it's
either.
one of those. It doesn't really matter. I like both rogue types.
Yeah.
So I'm in. It's going to be fun. And it's Greek mythology, which I love also. So add that to, it's going to be like, it's no brainer. I'm in. So let's do it. Let's go, Patrick. You'll probably play it on Game Pass.
Of course, yeah. I mean, like, might as well try it. I'm not into the roguelike dungeon crawlers, but if it's on Game Pass, I mean, I don't see a reason why not to try it out.
You play it on Game Pass. I'll play it on PlayStation, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Game Pass, so they have on. Mark, have you played Sea of Thieves?
I have very briefly played Sea of Thieves. It's not my cup of tea, but
it's not mine either. And I probably played maybe 20 minutes, and I was like, you know what, this game's not for me. I already know. But they announced that they're doing a Pirates of the Caribbean crossover with Jack Sparrow in Sea of Thieves, and it's a story. It's not just like, hey, he's in this game as an NPC.
Yeah.
Like, it's a whole story surrounding Jack Sparrow. So that's another thing that's coming out tomorrow on the 22nd that I want to jump in and kind of play around with that. I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but I think that's really cool that they it totally makes sense having Jack Sparrow and a Pirates of the Caribbean and a Sea of Thieves kind of thing. And I get it that Disney kind of made that connection and deal with Sea of Thieves, because Sea of Thieves is like, it's not realistic, like it's more of like a kid version, colors and artistic style. So I get why they did that. So it totally makes sense.
Let me tell you, the voice actor that they got to play Jack Sparrow is not Johnny Depp.
How? It's really good.
Yeah, like it's uncanny. Like I was like,
Savvy.
is that Johnny Depp? But no, apparently it's not. But he does a dang good job. Another thing that was kind of a big announcement, and obviously this was the Xbox showcase, the Xbox and Bethesda showcase, because obviously Xbox purchased Bethesda.
Yeah, why I don't ever understood why they said Xbox and Bethesda.
Well, because that's
Like,
their big.
Doesn't Xbox own Bethesda?
Well, because they own Bethesda, but Bethesda still can very much kind of sort of stand on its own.
Yeah, it's a big name. They don't want to get rid of that. They want to hold on to that
especially
name.
that was a big purchase for them this year. So
Yeah.
but
I mean, they paid how many billions or millions for Bethesda?
I don't remember the exact amount.
It's a lot. It's
but
a lot.
Enough. But that was
So
like a drop
you don't want
in
to
the
just
bucket for
dissolve
them.
the name.
Billions.
Yeah,
Sure.
but that was a
It's
drop in the
billions.
bucket for them. So
Yeah,
because they have Microsoft money.
yeah, that's
but-
true.
I got the Windows 10 money.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
But the big announcement was that game Starfield that they had announced
Yes.
is an Xbox exclusive.
That's
Yes.
right. You weren't the only one, Mark. Just to interject real quick with a joiner, Tim Pollen, he said some of the things we've mentioned, some we haven't, but some of the E3 things he was excited about for Forza Horizon 5, naturally, 12 minutes, Hades, and that Microsoft finally confirmed new Bethesda titles aside from Elder Scrolls 6 that will be console exclusives.
And
one
it
of
only
which is
makes
Starfield.
It only makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
PlayStation has their exclusives. Why can't Xbox have their exclusives? They purchased it. Come on.
I mean, they both kind of took different routes, so I see why people are kind of bent out of shape, because it's like poaching. It's like what they did with Tomb Raider, where Tomb Raider started on PlayStation, and then all of a sudden, Microsoft's like, "Well, we're making this. We're gonna make this second Tomb Raider exclusive for a year or whatever it was."
Yeah, but
So
this is
I get
like
kind of the
firm
bad
in
feelings
sand.
about poaching developers, but at the same time, why buy it if you're not going to make something exclusive? So
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean,
I don't knock them for it.
That's just the business in my
Yeah.
mind. Like,
Right?
Yep.
that
Exactly.
doesn't bother me at all. Like, that's just, we've always had exclusives, and people purchase. There's acquisitions of companies and stuff all the time, and that's just how the business works. You want to play this game, you've got to get the means to play it if you really want to play it that bad. I mean,
Yeah, but you have to admit with Bethesda, there's never been an acquisition of this caliber that's been third party all over the place in every system they can handle it, and then all of a sudden now it's like not any more friends, and it's taken away. So
I see
that's
point.
a unique situation. That's not happened before, so you can't expect people not to get a little upset about it.
Yeah, I don't. No, to me that it's really not that big of a deal.
But do you play Bethesda games?
That's the difference.
That's the only reason you're not making it. If someone bought Nintendo games, I don't know. Like I'm not thinking of a good example, and took it away from you to where you couldn't play it if you were.
Then I would have to get the console.
Well, of course, yeah, you could do that, but that's like a first world
Yeah.
situation. We're talking about the whole world here. We're talking about the people that can't afford to get all the consoles. So
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to get into the meat and potatoes of it, I mean, you play with you buy the console with the games you want to play. I mean,
right.
that's just, it's always been that way. Now I get this is different magnitude, but it's always been that way. There's always been exclusives, and you got to buy the console in order to get it. Now,
Right.
with Xbox, they're making it a lot easier, because you don't necessarily have to have the console. And they're actually working on branching it out more to where they're wanting to do their cloud gaming services on TVs and things
Cool.
like that. So they're making it easier for you to access this stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying. Now, obviously, everybody has their own opinion, and I'm not saying like, you're just completely wrong. Your opinion is wrong or whatever. If you feel like a little chipped by this, but yeah, I just don't. To me, it's not.
Yeah, you're over there owning both consoles. You're like, whatever.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know.
That's fair.
Um,
But
but
yeah. Next big thing, unless
hold on, wait. Let's stick with
Hold on.
Starfield.
okay, sure.
So this game was one of the games that got me hyped. I'm not a Skyrim. I'm not a Bethesda. I'm not those kind of games because I don't really care for the post-apocalyptic Fallouts, or I don't really care for the fantasy style of
fantasy, yeah.
Skyrim. And when they're like, hey, this is going to be Skyrim, like Todd Howard's like, this is Skyrim in space. And I'm like, I'm in. Like I get the allure of Skyrim. I understand why people love it. But you throw that into a space kind of genre, then I'm totally in. I want to play this day one. It's not coming out till like 11/11/22, but I'm hyped for this game.
Yeah.
Wait,
Love-
is it really 11/11/22, or are you just making a Skyrim reference?
No, that's exactly when it's coming out.
Is it
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm totally into this. I love No Man's Sky. I love Mass Effect because of the space exploration. You throw that into like that Mass Effect didn't have a story. It was it was nothing. And you throw a story, you throw a purpose, you throw a direction into a game like Bethesda would do with Starfield, then I'm totally in.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I am on Starfield. I mean, what they've shown, which was basically just a CG trailer, looks,
Yeah, nothing.
Looks
Yeah.
pretty, and they're not preaching to me. I'm not. I don't care for Skyrim, so we'll see. I mean, if it's got really heavy RPG elements to it, which I mean, it's Bethesda, so more than likely it will. Then this might not be for me. But I mean, the concept of it looks cool. But
It's on Game Pass, so
worth a try.
worth a try, right?
Might
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I am definitely. I would say I'm a. I don't want to say lukewarm. I'm somewhere between lukewarm. Ironically, my name's Lucas.
Hey.
Hey,
Lucas.
I'm somewhere between lukewarm to like I don't. What's between lukewarm and hot? Like I'm not like, man, I need
room
this, but
temperature.
I guess that sounds bad too. Like
You're
I'm
humid
like-
about it.
I'm humid. That
Ugh,
sounds
no,
gross.
humidity's the worst.
Yeah, humid is. I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm like North Carolina. I'm North Kakalaki about Bethesda.
You're like defrosted.
I'm defrosted.
You just complained about humid, and then you bring up North Kakalaki. Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I can't figure out a good reference. I like Bethesda games, but I'm not like for example, we talk about, Bethesda being lost to PlayStation owners. I'm not really that bent out of shape. There's so many games to play, and I played Fallout 76 because it was set in West Virginia. I played Fallout 4 and platinumed it, but honestly, I was good like after Fallout 4. I played it.
Yeah.
I'm good. I played Skyrim. I've played 300 hours of Skyrim. I've been tempted so many times to get it on PS4. And I just know, I would go back and start playing it on PS4. And after a couple hours, be like, I've already done this. I don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like Bethesda has aged well, like with their games. Like a lot of their games are following the same. Now, for Patrick, I totally get you haven't really played any of their games or followed their formulas. So for you, it's going to be fresh. But I have a bad feeling that Bethesda has not like updated a lot of their formulas, as it were, or like how they lay out things. Like they haven't broken from their formula from Morrowind, Oblivion, and I know these are all the fantasy ones, but Fallout follows the same formula, the same structure, the same quest giving way, and I have a bad feeling that Starfield is going to kind of go that direction when there's other games like the Outer Wilds or Witcher 3 or Mass Effect that still does it better. But at the same
Outer
time,
Wilds?
I think it's Outer Wilds.
You mean
Outer
Outer World?
Worlds.
Is it Outer Worlds? Outer Wilds? Maybe I'm mixing
Outer
up two
Wilds
games.
like a 28-minute time loop game. Outer Worlds is like the
RPG
Yes.
type game.
RPG one.
Outer Worlds, that's the one I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Which
My bad.
Outer
Don't
Worlds
quote me
2,
on that.
by the way, takes the cake for most hilarious trailer of E3.
Oh, did they do a reveal for Outer Worlds 2?
Yes.
I haven't played the
Yes.
first one, but I want
If-
to.
So I know you said you've only seen 30 minutes of Summer Game Fest and then nothing else. For Outer Worlds 2, they did a trailer. It was what a minute and a half, 2 minute trailer.
Yeah.
Where basically the first thing you hear is a narrator saying something like "in a world," and whenever you hear that, you know it's not going to be serious.
Right.
And it is
Yeah,
it is
it's
a
making
great,
fun.
great
Very
trailer.
self-referential, very meta, very like
I'll have to very much check that
making
out.
fun of video game tropes for a game
Definitely.
that's like just being announced.
Yes, yeah,
Sweet.
it's really good.
I'm in.
It's
Cool.
absolutely hilarious.
But yeah, so just all that to say that I'm skeptical, but I really hope that Bethesda has taken time to update like just some of their RPG formulas and the way they kind of delve things out. Because even though they do space, they're doing space now, but they've done fantastical, they've done post-apocalyptic. It kind of follows the same thing, and it's gotten kind of bland. So I hope
Yeah.
they freshen it up. And I'm hyped with you, Patrick, for you to get to finally get into a Bethesda game. Because they are really fun. They are really time consuming, but they're really fun. So
Yeah.
I'll be watching from afar with my Sony PlayStation device, whichever one I have. Hopefully it'll be a Cinco de Mayo celebration with a PS5, but we'll see. I mean,
There you
surely by 2020, whatever, 11/11/22, I should have a, Lord willing,
Yes.
should have a
hopefully,
PS5.
hopefully by next week you'll have one.
Hmm.
We'll see. Now
We
that
will
I'm on the hunt,
see.
I'll
I
show you
know,
how
I got-
easy it
I
is.
got
I'll
my-
show everyone how easy it is. I'm gonna get
You're-
one on Wednesday.
You're the Merc with the
I'm
mouth. You're
gonna
gonna
be
get it.
like, all right. There's they're dropping PS5s on Wednesday. I'm just gonna go grab one. Just
You're
show
like,
you how
"Ah,
easy
this-
it is.
It's little
Yoink.
babies.
Yep. Be
Babies
like, all right,
can do it.
that's mine. Thanks. You know.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir.
But
What was the other game that that Tim had said? 12 minutes. Did he
Yeah,
say
12 minutes.
12 minutes has been on my radar since they announced it. You know, like they do like it's a top down 12-minute loop
Yeah,
where
you just
you're-
have 12 minutes to do something.
I don't know what the I guess
I
the
don't remember if it's a
goal is.
murder or if it's a kidnapping.
You just
or
solve something, but you
solve
only
some
have
kind of
12
mystery.
minutes
Yeah,
to figure
I'm
it out.
intrigued. It sounds cool.
Yeah, and that's and he's like the main character remembers everything that's happened in every single 12-minute loop.
Right.
He's the
Yeah.
only one.
Yeah.
So and it's just like a new, you know, like the art style, the camera angle is like the top down in one room. I don't know if they do multiple rooms.
I think.
don't know.
Well, from the trailer, I think they only reveal one
They
room.
only show one room.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that's coming out in August
Yeah.
on Game Pass. Another Game Pass game.
check.
Yeah, I was planning on buying that, but you throw it on Game Pass. Give it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
Yep.
Give it to me now.
Yeah, obviously, for one of the big things that I think they announced in the Xbox presentation, obviously, I'm a longtime Halo fan, and
Oh,
Yes,
righty
sir.
then. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the Halo song, so I just went right into alrighty then. There it is.
I love when people do that, like in like you know, like
Always
a bathroom or
Yep.
like some sort of area where it's like the
Oh, yeah.
acoustics are really
Where there's an
awesome.
echo.
It's so
perfect.
good. Yeah.
Absolutely. But yeah, so 343 Industries has given Halo a little bit more time to cook, thankfully.
Yeah, was not ready. last year.
And they revealed the multiplayer, which is free to play.
Free.
Yep, FREE. Obviously, there'll be some sort
There
of
better
battle.
be some sort of matchmaking ranking system because,
Yeah,
I mean, there's some 20-year-old two-decade players out there,
yeah,
and you got some fresh meat for a free-to-play multiplayer Halo game.
yep. It's
Woof.
going down.
Fresh fish.
Yeah.
hmm Welcome to the barrel.
Yep.
But yeah, free to play. Obviously, there'll be some sort of a battle pass that you can pay money for. You'll be able
Of
to
course.
pay
Yeah.
for skins,
That's what
stuff
free to
like
play
that.
is. Yeah. It's
Um,
not.
but what I'm a little confused on, and maybe they mentioned it and I just didn't catch it. Just the multiplayer is coming out this fall,
Oh, really?
from what I understood. Now I could be wrong about that,
I
but
thought the whole thing was coming out.
they really stressed that Halo Infinite multiplayer was coming out in fall. Now I'll have to double check that. I'm sure I'm probably wrong and I missed something, but
Maybe
um,
not.
but you know what? If that is the case and the campaign is segmented, I'm okay with that. Take more time, make it right, because it totally wasn't right about a year ago.
Yeah. Not even close.
But the multiplayer trailer looks fantastic. I mean, it's Halo, and it's got a nice new clean code on it. And there's a lot of fun new things that you can do in it. While maintaining being a Halo game, being Halo multiplayer. So
Cool.
I will definitely be playing that day one when it comes out.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to it. Forza Horizon 5,
Yes.
which Tim talked about.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know who else talked about it? Just to segue again to a joiner, Rogue Hoffa on Discord said my favorite one was Forza Horizon 5. I said it's the most beautiful game I've ever seen, and now I'm thinking on getting a Series X because Microsoft won E3 for me with a real good conference.
Yeah,
Rogue Hoffa. Right. Yeah. Sorry, Mark. Yeah, I'm
no, you're
right
fine.
there with you.
Yeah.
I mean, Xbox, their conference is the reason why I got an X. I was
Spoilers. They won.
totally what?
I said spoilers. They won.
I was totally content with my Series S. It was my Game Pass machine. And then Xbox comes out and shows the prettiest game I have ever seen in Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5. I keep wanting to say Horizon Zero Dawn. I don't know why.
Can you imagine Aloy driving like a sports car around, like just killing robot dinosaurs
Rust.
and rescuing her friends?
But yeah, Forza Horizon 5. I'm really looking forward to playing that. I played Forza Horizon 4. That was my first venture into the Horizon games. The Forza Horizon games. Goodness. And that I thought that was a beautiful game. And this one just looks. I mean, if you haven't seen the trailer, you have to see it just
I'll add
because
it to the list.
Yeah,
to see to see how
raise-
beautiful it is.
They raised the bar with every game they put out for Forza games, whether it be Motorsport or Horizon. Just the game looks more and more beautiful every time they come out with a new version of it. And this is without exception. They literally took I think hundreds of hours of just the sky and took photographs and video of the
Look
sky
at this
in Mexico.
photograph of the sky above me.
Yeah, so the sky that you see in the game is the actual sky in Mexico.
That's awesome.
That's insane to me. And the detail from everything from the cars themselves to they're like, "Oh yeah, check out the detail on all of the grass and the plants that are in this area." It's just disgusting how beautiful the game is.
Disgusting. That's disgustingly beautiful grass, man.
Yep. But I mean, the Horizon games are fun to play in and of themselves, just because it's more than just racing on a track. They have different modes you can play, all along going on this kind of campaign, and so it makes things interesting compared to Motorsport. But yeah, the most beautiful game I think of E3 hands down. was Forza Horizon 5.
Nice.
Now, Lucas, I know that you said you're like, just add it to the list to another trailer that you want to watch. I'm going to make it easy for you.
Make it easy.
I got a Google Sheets of all the games that got me hyped, and there is a column with the YouTube link to that trailer.
Ooh, look at you doing your homework.
So
That was easy.
You can just look at those. Like, okay, I'm going to look at this
All right.
one. Make it easy for you.
I will get on it.
So yeah, then Mark, you can just add your games to that and the trailers, and then he's got a one-stop shop for all the trailers
for E3. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So speaking of Lucas, so these next 3 games that I have on my list are directed towards you.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
I'm listening.
And anybody who likes your games should also be listening to this one. Well, these 3. First one is Marvel's Avengers War for Wakanda.
Here we go. Let's go.
Like when they came out with their game plan for the entire year, they're like, okay, War for Wakanda didn't even have a release date. We're like, oh, it's probably not going to be coming until December. It's coming in August.
All right.
In 2 months, it's coming.
That's good. I need that time
3.
to clear out my hard drive space for this game to download it for the 3rd time.
All I want to say is I'm excited for Black Panther to be there.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man better be coming after that.
I know that was
they're
one of my
taking
first
too
responses.
long
I'm
with
like,
that.
where is Spider-Man?
They are taking a little long in the tooth for a lot of the content drops.
Yeah.
And it was all because of the launch.
Yeah.
They launched with so many bugs. What was
Yeah.
it, like 1,000 that they fixed in their first update? And there were still thousands left that they needed to fix. So they were trying to increase the quality of life before they started dropping content into this already broken world.
Yep. That's fair.
So that really sucked. It really kind of delayed everything. And then COVID happened, and that delayed everything even more. So it was did not do any favors for the Avengers game.
Right.
But yeah, so that's coming out free to download. As long as you have like 1,000 credits, then you can buy the battle pass for him.
Let's go.
Black Panther.
Of course, we can't play them at the same time, so we're gonna have to take turns.
There are missions now where you can be multiple.
Of course, I haven't
the same.
Oh, really? Okay. I was gonna say I haven't played the Kate Bishop ones yet either, so I'll probably knock those both
really?
out.
The Kate Bishop? Have you played the Clint one too?
Nope. So
oh, wow.
Okay, all right.
Well, then cool. Then
Let's
you
go.
should
Got some things to do.
I don't know when it's coming out in August. They just said August, so I'm assuming August 31st. And if it's anything earlier than that, then great.
It's icing on the cake.
Yeah. So
Sweet.
that's coming out. I have
right.
enough credits to get the battle pass and get him to level 50 or whatever, like right off the bat. Like I saved up all of my credits, so I could just get all of his gear and everything, and pick the outfit that I want the most. So that's coming out in August. The next one, and I'm not sure if you played this one when it first came out, but Diablo 2 Resurrected.
I did play it, but I'm still intrigued and still excited.
I never played Diablo 2, but they do the side-by-side comparison to what it looked like and to what it's going to look like.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Night and day. It looks like a whole new game.
Yeah.
It looks beautiful. And then the last game of the trio is another Marvel game, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
So
all right.
This is a game where it's a single player game only, no multiplayer, where you control Star-Lord, and you control your group, the rest of the Guardians, kind of like your party. So you go into a menu, kind of like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where you go into a menu and then you can give them things to do.
Orders, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. I like
you can't control them, but you can control what they do.
That's okay. I mean, I'm old school JRPG turn-based guy where I used to do that growing up as a kid, so I still love that play style. So
and
cool.
the art style for this game it's kind of like a combination of the Marvel's Avengers game and Telltale games. That's what it
Okay.
looks like.
Cool.
And it's got like Telltale kind of mechanics in it to where there is dialogue and you choose the dialogue, and
Hmm.
your the rest of the Guardians or whoever you're talking to will remember that.
Yep.
So it has those elements in there.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
one of the cool things that was in this trailer that I thought was a game changer for me is as you're fighting, you're building up your ultimate. And as you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy and Star-Lord loves 80s music. So as soon as you perform your ultimate, an 80s music song comes on, and then all of a sudden you're doing all your like big powers. So it feels like you're into like a
You're
really
in the
big
movie.
battle
Yeah.
in the movie playing like
Sweet.
some 80s song. It is amazing.
Yep, they put the money into it, that's for sure. For
Nice.
copyrights and
All
stuff.
right. Well, you got me 3 for 3. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And we already talked about Hades, so it's really 4 for 4.
Yeah.
So any particular other ones for Xbox you want to touch on? I know there's a bunch, like we said, a bunch of games coming to Game Pass.
Plethora.
Yeah, I think I have a couple I can just touch on. The one was Back for Blood, the
Yep.
Left 4 Dead that's coming out on Game
On
Pass.
Game Pass.
It's also coming for PlayStation 2, but it's also coming out for Xbox as well.
It's coming out for
on
PS2.
Game Pass. Yeah, also PS also.
Gotcha.
Let's go.
And then a Plague Tale Requiem. So I played a Plague Tale Innocence. I platinumed that on PlayStation, and now that's coming to Game Pass eventually next year. Looking forward to that one. And then the last one I want to talk about Game Pass was this game called Replaced. And I kind of grabbed the synopsis or the summary of what this game is because I wouldn't be able to do it justice. This game, so it says Replaced is a 2.5D sci-fi retro futuristic action platformer. That's a mouthful, but it's beautiful looking. Where you play as an artificial intelligence trapped in a human body against its own will. Replaced combines cinematic platformer, pixel art, and free flow action combat with a deep, engaging dystopian story set in an alternative 1980s. So in this trailer, you can see like it's actually far in the distance where your character is, and there's a lot of like depth that is from on the foreground, and it looks incredible. Like it looks like the background and the environment looks like it's really well done, but the characters have like a pixel art to them.
Nice.
And the way it's done and the way the characters move, it kind of reminds me of like Dead Cells movements.
Okay.
And
you have my attention.
Yeah, and unfortunately this game is only on Game Pass.
Of course it is.
So but
stop listening. You had me for 1 second.
I do think that you should eventually you'll play it. I know you will. I know there's going to be a time where you're going to get an Xbox at some point.
Right.
What
get a Series S.
What Marc was saying, eventually you're going to be able to play Xbox on your TV. And they're working on something where you can actually play next gen games on current gen software. Somehow, some way through the cloud. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's what they're talking about. It's going to be part of the playing game on TV.
Well, Nintendo kind of does that now. That's how they're able to get Guardians of the Galaxy on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
it's cloud gaming. A lot of the games, there's a list. I want to say like Assassin's Creed Valhalla is on there, and a couple other games. That's how they're able to get them played is through cloud gaming. Because otherwise the Switch would not be able to handle it at all.
Yeah, right. And they do that with Control. What else do they do it with?
There's a few other ones I'd have to look
there's a few of them, I haven't played it before or haven't heard from anyone who's played those type of games on Nintendo Switch through the cloud like that. But from what I've gathered from certain short articles I've read, is it works.
Yeah. All right. So, any other things about Xbox before we move on?
No. I think that's it. Slime Rancher 2. It's coming out next year. Yeah.
Your kids are excited for that.
My son's
Get
my
to it,
son's
Clark.
pumped about that one.
Get to it, buddy.
But no, I'm
So-
good.
Get that 1,000 gamer points.
I mentioned in the call-outs today that we were going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly
Ooh.
of E3.
Uh-oh.
And,
Are we done with the good?
I mean, there's some good, but we're
Okay.
going to
All
touch
right.
on some of the bad and ugly here.
All right. Okay.
And
No
and
Superman game still.
that is a bad
Ridiculous.
and an ugly.
Ridiculous.
Mm.
And no updates on Gotham Knights or a Suicide Squad game
Right?
or anything
How the
like
heck did that happen?
Where yet, DC?
Where-
Where yet at?
Is
Yeah.
WB gonna do their own thing like PlayStation's gonna do? Like, hey,
Ooh,
we're cool. We're
look
the
at
cool
us.
guys.
Well, they're
We're gonna
in
do our
kinda-
own thing.
Well, they're in kind of a weird spot anyway, just because they just got the big merger between WB and Discovery, I believe. Yeah,
It's a weird thing.
it is. It is a
All right.
weird thing, but so yeah, they're in a kind of a weird spot right now. But yeah, no updates for that. But to me,
Did they think they were signing something with Disney? They were like, oh, it's Discovery. What did we sign?
who knows?
That was Disney, not Discovery. Dang it, who messed that up?
Who knows? But no, the gripe that I have here, and this is my opinion, and obviously, the big hitters for this whole E3 were mainly Xbox and Nintendo, and the rest were kind of lower. There wasn't really thing major. Like Capcom had nothing.
Everyone
basically.
doesn't need to do their own thing. Like, I don't understand. Capcom, you can just throw your games into another presentation.
Yep.
Just like right here. You don't need to
You don't have to be here. You can just be up here in the corner
Yep.
and
Yeah.
just throw some stuff.
throw some good games over here. Make
Yeah.
make Xbox's conference just 34 games.
Yep.
Instead of doing your 4 games over here that for an hour. It's like, no, that's too much.
Yep. So yeah, so I had a problem with Nintendo, and going in, I was pretty excited about Nintendo. I'm big into their stuff, so I was ready to be hit with the goodness from them, and I was sorely disappointed.
You're,
Womp
hit me with the
womp.
goodness. Give me the Switch Pro. Let's go.
Yep, didn't get that at all. So who knows whether that's even a thing or not.
It should be. It's how long has Nintendo Switch been out? 5 years?
4 years, 2017.
Oh, 2017.
Give me the
I thought-
pro.
Yep.
Give me
Or
the
no,
pro.
maybe it was 2016. Take that back. Yeah, so maybe it has
Look.
been 5 years. Yeah.
Fact check.
Yep. It probably has been 5 years. But yeah, I was
No, you're
thoroughly
right. March 3rd, 2017.
okay.
You win.
Because I was thinking it was the same year we got married. My wife and I got married. So
That's how you
That's how
remember.
you
I love
remember.
it. It's so funny.
yeah, a lot of good stuff happened that year.
All right.
A lot of good stuff. Got married, and Nintendo Switch came out.
Yep. It's
Nothing
good
else.
Stuff. Good stuff.
That's it.
But yeah, I was.
Hey, we're celebrating the Switch anniversary. Are you ready? Oh, right. Wedding anniversary too.
Oh, yeah, that's
Kristen
it.
comes in. Do you know what happened in 2017? Yeah, the Switch came out.
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch.
Duh. Can't wait.
Breath of
5-year anniversary.
Breath of the
Woo,
Wild.
next
My
year.
gosh. But no, yeah, I was thoroughly disappointed by Nintendo's presentation because the bulk of it, I mean, were remasters and things of games that I didn't care about.
Hey now, Barnaby El Ronchas Butters on
and
Discord
he has the exception.
said Metroid. Did I mention Metroid? Also Metroid. That is all.
Now, I will give Nintendo points there because they said, hey, listen, we're working on Metroid Prime 4 right now. But,
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're also working on Avatar 2, the movie.
Avatar.
yeah, I don't,
Avatar.
Avatar.
yeah, I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all.
It's like for the past 10 years.
Bring it. I'll play it.
But, no, so obviously, yeah, while we're working on Metroid Prime 4, here's a new side-scrolling Metroid game, 3D side-scrolling Metroid game, which they do a great job with those.
Wait, hold on. A 3D side scroller?
Yes, it's not
Oh,
like
man.
it's not like 2D like The character models and everything are 3D.
Oh man, I haven't
How
guess.
does that work? I need to
Oh.
watch this trailer. I didn't actually
Yeah.
watch anything about it because I'm gonna just go ahead and say it out front. I am not a Metroid fan. I don't have anything against it. I've just not played a lot of them.
No
Not
history
your
with
cup of
it.
tea.
No history,
Yep.
and it's not even that it's not my cup of tea. It's just those games were not my cup of tea back in the day. Probably if I'd go back and play them,
Yeah.
maybe I would appreciate them. But Metroid does nothing for me.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
But
But they did announce Metroid Dread, which
all I can think of is Judge Dredd when I hear that. I'm like, is she gonna be like judging people and
I guess.
you know,
Metroid
Taking out
Judge
fools?
Judy.
judge? Took a totally different direction. I like that. Metroid Dread Judge Judy edition.
Wow.
That sounds like a Broforce title.
It does. That sounds awesome. I'd play that for sure in a heartbeat.
But yeah, they did well with that. They do well with those games, and it's something to hold Metroid fans over until Prime 4 comes out. But the rest of the conference disappointed me. And the main
Disappointed.
Yep. And the main reason it disappointed me was because Nintendo has sorely done Zelda dirty in its 35th anniversary. Because if you look at all the games that Mario got in his 35th anniversary compared to what Zelda's getting, they've been done dirty.
Yeah, but I think Mario is just a much bigger draw to a lot more people than Zelda.
And
Zelda-
he's got
I
a
think Zelda's
mustache.
right.
He's
I
got
think
a
Zelda's right up there.
mustache, and he's a plumber.
I mean, what did you want from them? Did you want Zelda 35 or where they did like a battle royale, like
Dude,
what
that'd
they
be
did with
sweet.
Super Mario?
It didn't need to
That
be
would've been
one to
sweet.
one, but like
You got a Breath of the Wild 2, and you got the Wind Waker HD. They got
you barely got Breath of the Wild 2. There was barely anything there. And they didn't announce a title or anything like that.
It's a spoiler. They can't mention it. Which since when is a name of a game a spoiler? Like rename it. Don't if
it's
you
like
can't
Breath of
reveal
the
the name because
Wild
it's a spoiler.
2, Fast and Furious edition. It's like
Yeah,
me,
it's a
like,
this is
crossover.
interesting.
there wasn't enough substance there to really give it a real gameplay reveal. And yes, I know the game it comes out next year,
Now,
and that's if it comes out next year.
do you think you were disappointed because they did not announce Ocarina of Time remake?
That's among many things that they didn't announce. What they're doing for Zelda as of right now for its 35th anniversary, and I guarantee you Breath of the Wild 2 will not come out in the 35th anniversary release window. I do not see it happening. And I more than likely, because Nintendo's, notorious for pushing games back.
Yeah.
To take more time. And I get that. Totally understand that. And it's worked out well for them.
They release flawless games.
Yeah. They make great games.
It's true.
But I have no faith that game is coming out in 2022. You can say that all you want, but I do not. Now, they do have a bit of a leg up because they're using a lot of assets from Breath of the Wild for this new game. They're not starting from the ground up. But I just don't see it happening. But no. They literally said in the presentation, we have no further games prepared for the rest of the year, for the anniversary, other than Skyward Sword HD, which, sure, great.
Sure.
I guess.
And then their stupid little Zelda Game & Watch console.
How's that? Why is that a thing?
That is it. Mario Kart got like not Kart, but Mario for his 35th anniversary got like 5 or 6 games.
Oh, the 3D All Stars was the best. Why did they should have done that with Zelda? Just
They absolutely
package
should have.
in a few games.
Now, COVID may have been a factor. I don't know, but I mean,
Who knows?
Yeah.
come on, like they really
Yeah,
dropped the ball with this anniversary, in my
they
opinion.
did. They dropped the Master Sword.
They did.
Shame on them.
They just missed out on a lot. I would have liked a compilation of Wind Waker, Ocarina, those games on one collection. There was so much more they could have done with it, and I just feel like, and yeah, Mario may be the bigger name supposedly, but I think Zelda's right up there. It's one of the big ones that makes Nintendo. And so I just feel like that was really disappointing to me. And the gameplay for Breath of the Wild 2, which we don't know what else it's called, so we're still calling it that, um, was okay. That's great, but there really wasn't much there to see. Um, Now, if you go back and look at the actual Breath of the Wild trailer, which I know it's not release year, but if you look at the Breath of the Wild, the actual full reveal trailer, incredible. And then you look at this trailer. To me, there was nothing in my opinion. Um, but they did have some good moments. Well, I guess for me, one good moment, and that was Metroid Dread. But
Judy.
yes, but everything else to me was a disappointment, and what really frustrated me too is outside of the E3 presentation, Nintendo basically told people that they were not allowed to stream their E3. People on Twitch were not allowed to stream their E3 presentation at all.
Such a weird
You
choice.
could react to it,
Like,
but you couldn't have it on the screen at all. So it could just be you talking while you're
Nintendo
watching.
is so weird. Like,
Like, oh, did you see
why?
that? No, you only see my face.
No, you just see my face on the screen going, wow.
Ooh,
And then right now, Link is skydiving and he's going through the clouds that were
And
filmed
now-
in Mexico, and it's amazing.
Oh
wait,
and
that's
now I am
Forza Horizon
disappointed.
Zero Dawn. Never mind.
but yeah, the Nintendo is just weird. The battles that they pick are just so out there. I don't understand it, but
Yeah.
but I still love them anyway for all their many faults.
You should sue him like that kid that sued him over the baseball game. You should sue him for not giving Link enough love. And be like,
Yep.
you know what? You loved on this mustachioed plumber guy. What about Link? Where's his love?
Yep.
He needs something.
Oh, and I guess one thing I forgot to mention, they technically
Oh,
put
and
out-
one more thing.
they put out DLC for a game that's already out. The Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
The
they're putting out
Muso styled Link game, Zelda game.
so they're putting out DLC for that.
Okay, cool.
That's
Enjoy.
it for Zelda.
Enjoy,
stuff.
you Hyrule Warriors out there. Get it. Get
So-
that DLC.
But I'll
Slash
step
them.
off my soapbox now.
Well, let's talk about. I have one more game I want to talk about,
Sure.
and it's called Riders Republic.
Oh, that was mentioned by Rogue Hoffa, but I didn't mention it. But he also liked that, and Battlefield 42.
So
That is
yeah,
all.
Battlefield 2042.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's only multiplayer though. I don't understand. There's no campaign, which just totally throws me off
That's
because
so. What was
I
that?
like-
Call of Duty. What year was that? Where they did the multiplayer only year,
and how
then
well-
they brought it back, and they
how
learned
well
their
did that-
lesson from it.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
Come on,
Battlefield's thinking.
Battlefield.
They think they've got
Pay
it. I mean, the
attention.
game looks great. The trailer was fantastic, but I don't know how well that's gonna do for them. But
Mm-hmm.
if it was coming to Game Pass, I'd definitely try it. I
Yeah.
mean, is that an EA game?
It is. It
So
is.
eventually it will, and I'll play it then.
There you go. So back to the Low Riders
but-
game.
Yeah, the Riders Republic. So
Oh, that's what I said. Riders
Oh.
Republic.
yeah.
Right.
Ders. Low Rider.
So it doesn't have cars. It's you have a bike. You can ski, skate. No, not skate. Snowboard, and then like you have a couple like squirrel wingsuits or whatever.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought
no,
this was going all like furry with the animals and stuff.
the flying squirrel swimsuits. And it's just like you're racing against other players, like 50 other players
Okay.
in a massively multiplayer like battle royale kind of race. And it's I want to try it. It comes out September. I'm on the fence of I want to buy it. This game looks like it's gonna be an absolute blast with how much action is going on. They said there's going to be like events where like 300 people are going to be in a race at one time,
It's cool.
and racing for the gold. It just looks really neat with all the different things you can do. I know there's games that are coming out that it's only snowboarding. It's like, well, you get Riders Republic right here that has snowboarding, but it also has skiing,
You get a
and
smorgasbord.
you have squirrel suits, and then you also have bikes, mountain bikes. So I think all that stuff that's in one game just sounds like really fun to me. It kind of reminds me back in PS1 days for I don't know if you played the Extreme games or Toon
ESPN
Extreme.
Extreme.
Yes.
Yes, where you
That's
go
what it
through like
feels.
a million gates on a bicycle. Like they had the
Yes.
gates over, and it was like boom, 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 boom.
Yes.
I love that game.
Yeah, that's what it reminds me. I'm like, this is
Ooh,
this is
now you have my attention. Now that you've compared it to that PS1 classic.
yeah. So I'm really excited for that one. That's one of the ones that it's not coming to Game Pass. That one of the very few that I'm thinking of buying. Buying a game and next generation's weird.
Crazy.
No way.
It's a weird concept.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I think that's
Sweet.
all I got.
Yeah, I'm fresh out for that. It's about
Well,
E3
if you
in
guys
a
are
nutshell.
out, I'm out too, because I already came with nothing. So,
well, you learned about a lot of new games.
but I
was gonna say,
learned
you
so
walk
much.
away with
you
a
now
lot of
you
stuff.
now have a
I
reference
walked away with a bunch. I
and
do.
all the YouTube
Yep.
trailers
Yep.
and maybe a little description of what it is next to it. Who knows?
Thanks,
I'm here
guys.
for you.
You're the best.
And maybe if the joiners want to listen, if they want to see this as well, we'll share it, and you guys can see
There you go.
all the
All right.
links and all the games we talked about.
It's a deal. All right, there, joiners. Well, then that's all for this enlightening and entertaining E3 exchange. As is tradition, of course, we have some quick housekeeping where we offer Taos fluff pillows and top them off with Andy's candies and tip you off to the GMG news you need to know. Our GMG stream team not running at 100% thanks to me, but we're still rocking it out as a group. Marc is streaming that good old Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and
I'm not
amongst
at 100% either,
other
so don't
things.
feel bad, Lucas.
It's all good. It's all good. We're covered in like stages. I'm like next to nothing, and then you're like 50 to 75%, and then Chris is still doing his thing. He's like
He's
forging
rocking it.
ahead, cleaning up those trophies with Final Fantasy VII, and all that. So you can catch us Sunday to Saturday. Sorry, I totally messed that up. Sunday to Monday, 2 days a week. You can catch the GMG stream team. No, but check us out. We got schedules on the twitch.tv/our names that I don't remember. But we also like to tweet on Twitter. We like to Discord on Discord. And come hang out with us. It's a fun ride.
It's all in the show notes.
Yep, all in the show notes. So just check it out there. You can also rate and review us on Apple Podcast and Podchaser. Some say Stitcher, but I've yet to see a review ever on Stitcher. So
I don't think you can, but
I don't think you can, but we still
I think
say
you
it
have
from
to
time
really
time.
dig deep for it.
You really do, and I'm not willing to do
you have
that.
to write it in.
Yeah.
Snail mail.
Yep. And then last but not least, feel free to join in on the discussion with your voice through 929 GMG guys. We would love it if you'd call in and just, share about what's new, share about, ask a question, let your voice be heard. And then speaking of what should be heard, Marc Boucher, what's going on today in that their realm of movie land place? Tried to sound as Michael
Stuck that
as
landing.
possible. Let's try to sound as Michael as
Stuck it.
possible from Office, like with the movie stuff. Go, do the
I'll
little
do
the
the
jingle.
And stuff.
Then this day.
Yep. Yeah, so this week in movie history, several big movies came out this week in movie history, obviously in different years, but June 20th, 1975, Jaws came out.
Doo-doo, doo-doo.
June 20th, 1980, this is kind of a wink hint at what may be to come. The Blues Brothers.
Oh, I'm on a mission from God.
June 22nd, 1955, the classic Disney movie Lady and the Tramp.
All right.
Did you ever see the remake?
No,
Yeah.
I did not.
I don't think anyone
I did.
Oh,
Hey
This
now.
is Lucas you're talking about.
Hey
He's
now,
literally watched the
buddy.
entire Disney Plus
Respect.
lexicon.
I've already watched all of Disney Plus. Like I'm just on the second go
You
through.
got the platinum for Disney Plus.
I did.
He's
It was
lapping
nice.
everybody now.
Very nice.
I would be remiss if I didn't make this announcement. June 23rd, 1989, the original Batman with Michael Keaton came out.
I thought you were going to say Beetlejuice.
No. I don't know what year that came out. It had to have been before Batman, because I think Beetlejuice is what got Michael Keaton essentially the role of Batman.
Was it that or Mr. Mom?
It was a combination, but Beetlejuice, because he worked with Tim Burton on
Ooh,
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, 1988.
Yeah, that was what got him that role essentially. And going back a little bit, June 25th, 1982, we briefly touched upon this movie title, Blade Runner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And a happy birthday to our own Star-Lord, Chris Pratt, June 21st.
Hi, Chris.
Oh, he's got a new movie coming out called The Tomorrow War.
I'm interested.
Tomorrow War.
Did you hear about this one?
Nope.
Where people come back from the future to bring Chris Pratt to the future to fight aliens to prevent a war that's going to happen. I have no. It's like an action movie.
I'm in. Let's
I
do
mean,
it.
it's basically it's just like sit back, eat some popcorn, and it's like Independence Day.
Sounds
Isn't it on
fun.
Amazon Prime Video?
Oh yeah, it's on Swisher Plus, Novacell Now, all those
All
streaming
those.
services.
Sweet. Count me in.
And yeah, so happy birthday to Chris Pratt and also to Meryl Streep on June 22nd.
Oh, did you hear about
Sweet.
Meryl Streep's new movie?
No.
I don't know. I don't have anything else.
I was like, really?
That's funny because Meryl Streep didn't either. But yeah, that is it for me on This Week in Movie History.
Sweet. Well, let's keep the movie time going. What's the latest addition to the GMG MAFT 100 list that you guys would like to add? We have to add 3. And then next week, Ronnie has to add 4 to the list. So I hope you're ready.
I'm gonna go with Beetlejuice.
Boom.
All right, Beetlejuice.
Should I just say all 3 of mine?
Go for it.
Beetlejuice. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna say Beetlejuice, and I'm gonna say Die Hard.
Ooh.
Nice.
And,
Wow, no one said that yet?
Yeah, and then
Shocking.
the last one is The Godfather.
Fucking. Ooh. All right.
All solid ones.
Yep. Solid picks.
Hopefully.
Yep.
Mark?
All right. My 3 are, like I said, as I hinted at, the Blues Brothers.
Ooh.
It's one of a lot of these are the ones that I picked are comedies this week. I was thinking about I don't watch that many comedies.
I watched Blues Brothers this year.
Did you?
You did.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
It's awesome. It's
Yeah,
so
it
dumb.
holds up.
They don't die. They're like immortal. It's
They
great.
don't die.
I mean,
They can
yeah,
never die.
They're
on a mission from God. You can't die when
Exactly.
you're on a mission from
Yeah,
God.
God.
Come on now.
From
God.
So yeah, Blues Brothers. My next pick is the classic Tom Hanks movie, Big.
Oh,
Ooh,
beautiful.
that's a good one.
Yes.
That's a real good one.
And finally, a classic comedy meets sci-fi fantasy, Spaceballs.
I knew you were going to say that. That's a great
nice.
pick.
Nice. That is a great pick.
Little known fact:
Good
when my
picks.
wife and I registered for our wedding, on the gift registry, we definitely did Spaceballs in there, and
Nice.
immediately, I think the first day or two, someone got it for us.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yogurt.
Oh, good old yogurt. Dark helmet.
Dark helmet.
Dark helmet.
Dark helmet. Yeah.
Satellites
Um,
jammed.
There's only one man who would dare jam me with raspberry. Lone Star.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Oh man.
And so
Princess
bad.
Vespa.
Nobody
Prince-
knows
Prince Valium.
the trouble I see. Yeah.
He's always tired. I
the
didn't get
desert.
that when I was young, but I get it
Nope.
now.
I get it now. Yeah, for sure. All right. You already gave all three, right, Mark?
I did.
He
Did I count that right? Okay.
Blues Brothers Big and Spaceballs.
I'm gonna go with superhero movies, but I'm not sure if this has been mentioned yet.
Holy crap. Did I mention the superhero movie I watched? Can I interject with this?
Sure, we can crop that in and put it into your. Yeah,
I
sure
totally
can, but here we go.
I totally forgot. These past 2 weeks, I fell upon this movie called Superhero Movie.
Oh, that was like a satirical movie.
It is
Like
like it's like scary movie and not another teen movie.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
felt like that. And so I was like, you know what? It was just on. So I just sat down and what was it? The very beginning. And this movie is kind of like the same story as Spider-Man, except this high school kid gets bit by a dragonfly and not a spider.
Yeah. Makes sense.
His nemesis is Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. His best friend is Kevin Hart.
Okay.
His
Wow.
his uncle. So he lives with so his parents died because he accidentally killed them in a back alley with a gun from a robber that was trying to steal his parents'
Okay.
money, like in
Yeah.
Batman.
course.
So but he accidentally killed him, but his so he lives with his aunt and uncle, and his uncle is Leslie Nielsen. Oh my gosh, this movie is so dumb, but it's so awesome at the same time.
I'm pretty
It
sure
is-
I watched this back in the day.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
bad.
It's so bad, but it's so bad. It's because it's bad. It's easy to
good.
digest.
Yeah.
Anyways,
For sure.
if you haven't
Anywho.
seen it, it's stupid.
That's quite
But
the
it's
segue.
awesome.
All right.
So superhero movies.
Yeah, superhero movies. Thank you for that.
Hopefully
I'm
that's not in there because
That
that's
is
not.
that is definitely not one of the movies. I'm remembering, like, as you talked about it, I started to remember that movie, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was so bad.
Yeah, wasn't Drake Bell in that movie or something like that? Maybe I'm thinking wrong.
I don't. Who's Drake Bell? The main character?
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Maybe
Maybe.
that's too early for that.
I don't know. But yeah, Lucas again. You're up.
Thor Ragnarok,
Ooh, you have me.
Logan.
Ooh, I thought about that.
Good one.
That's a good one.
That's the best X-Men movie,
That's hands down.
Yeah. No argument here.
hands down. And the last one of the best superhero movies ever, Wall-E.
I am not putting that in the document.
You will put it in the document. It is my pick, and it is going to be on the top 50,
I'm
100.
putting superhero movie in there.
No, you're not. You're putting Wall-E in there. I will jump through that screen, and I'll break all your fingers except for the one it takes to buy me a PS5. That is all.
You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rewatch it, but I'm gonna Twitch stream my reactions only.
Thank you.
Okay.
And if you fall
You're
asleep
gonna
during
see-
it,
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
see-
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna see
mail
with
you
my
a box of poop, a box of Rayless poop.
Oh, I was right. Drake Bell is in superhero movie. He's the main character.
And I'm
Who's
gonna
Drake
set it
Bell?
up to when you open up the box, it catches the poop on fire, and you have to stamp it out with your feet.
Hey,
Drake
man,
Bell-
paper bags.
vicious.
Do you remember
That's what
the-
happens when you hate on Wall-E.
It gets a 0 for me. I predict it,
Nice.
even if I haven't seen another movie that's on this list.
No, Drake Bell is. You've heard of the Nickelodeon TV show Drake and Josh? No. Okay.
The
mind.
guys the hotel people, the hotel kids.
No, that's Zach and Cody.
Yeah, I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. It's like that's awful Nickelodeon TV.
I guess I must
Yeah.
have missed that.
I missed Drake and Josh. Sorry. Wait,
It's all good.
Zach and Cody, Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh.
They're different.
They are
like
different.
like Drake.
No, not that Drake.
Like the singer.
No, Drake was on the Canadian television
It's
show.
like Drake and Josh Groban.
He was on Degrassi. There we go. Okay.
This has turned into improv right at the end. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
That's way too long.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. There you go. My 3 picks
Cool.
that have to be on the list forever.
We all get one veto.
Forever. No vetoes. Nope.
No veto for you.
Alrighty then, Pat, Mark, in the spirit of Ronnie J, along with you, our beloved friends, family, and joiners, go get your good morning this week, and may God bless and guide your lives as you live, as you work, and as you